Before I start, I just want to say that first song was the most random song I think I've ever heard of come on this channel. But anyway, hello guys, we're back. We're back. We're back. The season starts all over again on Saturday, or tomorrow night technically, actually, with Sheffield Wednesday versus Southampton. But anyway, we're back. We're back in the Championship after 13
Come on, Wednesday!
of waiting. As Liam's just shown there, that's who's playing tomorrow night. Anyway, of course, on Saturday, we're playing Huddersfield Town for our opening game of the season with the return of our former coach Neil Warnock coming back to home park on Saturday, and a goat of ours as well. We love the bloke as well, and our special guest for our first game of the season is big Huddersfield fan down here. Big Huddersfield fan here, Macauley. Go and subscribe to Macca Cup of Tea right now, if you can possible. The link is in the description as well. Macauley, how are you feeling coming into this day? Saturday, sorry.
I remember when the schedule for the Championship got announced, and I was just praying it wasn't somewhere like Plymouth, a long drive on the first day of the season. But now it's here. I'm nothing but excited for it. I know you guys have sold out the home end, and we sold out our away end. So the atmosphere.
Oh, you have? Oh, that's fantastic.
So yeah,
you definitely taking 1,600 on Saturday.
Yeah, we're taking 1,600, and we've got people tweeting like they want more tickets. Our fans are ready to go. We're so excited for this. We're really behind Neil Warnock this season, and obviously last season it was awful. For the
I can imagine how awful it must have been. I mean, like that alone has pretty much saved your season, I guess, as well.
Yeah. So we're wanting to get off to a good start, and yes, the sky's the limit. This Huddersfield Town is such an unpredictable football team. There's been so many times, like down the years, people think we'll be in and around a relegation battle, and then out of nowhere we'll go for the playoffs. We're just one of those teams. So never say never. We could go for the playoffs this season.
Could you imagine? Yeah, no, it would be incredible for you guys as well, especially. But despite how last season went, of course, at the end, of course, what is the atmosphere and the factor, the so-called feel-good factor, like at your club at the moment coming into this season with Warnock in charge?
Yeah, so last season, I'm not going to lie, the atmosphere, especially at the John Smith Stadium, it was so toxic and negative. When we had Fotheringham in charge, the fans were booing. It was horrible. I was actually embarrassed, to be a Huddersfield fan last season. When we went to the away games, we couldn't sell any tickets. The fans weren't bothering. But, when Neil Warnock got appointed, selling out everywhere we go, and obviously now the new season, new chapter, we're ready to go now. We're going to be 100% behind him.
Nah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Is there anyone, especially for Saturday, that in your squad that we're going to have to really brick ourselves for, if you want to put it that way, for Saturday? Like, is there anyone for Huddersfield that's really going to, give us a freaking run for our money on Saturday for 2 hours? Anyone we need to look out for? You've had a good pre-season, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, we've had a lot of goals.
You came down to my homeland on pre-season because you went to both Liskeard and Bodmin. As I'm from Cornwall, so I know it very well.
Yeah, we have scored a lot of goals in pre-season. Pre-season actually has been good for us. We haven't really conceded much goals either. So that obviously showing improvements in the defence, which was a massive issue last season. We was leaking goals left, right, and centre. So I just think we've got a solid base, a solid team. There's not like one standout player which you should be worried about. I think it's the whole team. They work together. They get stuck in, and that's what it's about.
100%. No, definitely. Is there anyone for us, though, that you're really nervous for at the moment? Like anything about our club that's getting your nerves up for Saturday?
Yeah, well, I mean, the way you guys run away with League One last season, it was such a competitive league. I thought at the beginning of last season, it'll be such a competitive league. You had so many massive teams in League One last season, and you just tore the division apart. You ran away with it. And I think if you carry that form into this Championship campaign, I think you guys could be an underdog. I really do. You've got a solid team, you're a very good team.
All right, here's the question right now. Where have you got us in your predictions for this season?
Well, when I made my very early Championship predictions, I hadn't made an updated one, which I'm quite gutted about.
Fair
I had you guys finish in and around a relegation battle, but I don't think you will be. I think you'll have a comfortable mid-table finish. I'd say about 15th.
That's near to both of us actually.
Yeah.
Liam's got us 16th. I've got us 13th.
Yeah, I think
so I'm very I'm confident going into
Yeah.
this season. I can't lie. I've got you 15th coincidentally, so I think we're going to be neck and neck.
Yeah. So what's the feel good factor about your place then? Like, how are your fans? Obviously, are you guys excited for the championship campaign?
Well, it's the first time we've been promoted for it's since 2020 actually, because we came third in League Two that season behind Swindon Crew. But obviously, championship point of view, we haven't been in the division since for 13 years. And the last time we were there, Newcastle relegated us to League Two, no, to League One. Sorry, when they got promoted to the Premier League themselves with that 2-0 win at home park. And that feels like a very, very long time ago now. And that was back when we were declining as a club. The finances were getting really poor. That we ended up dropping to League Two. We went into administration.
Yeah.
But 2012 and 2013 in League Two were our two darkest seasons in the history of our football club. And the fact that we've managed to bounce back and 13 years of preparation to get back to where we feel we belong is... This is why I'm really excited for this season, and our ownership, I feel, has been like the best in such a long time as well. It's clubs like, I can't lie, it's clubs like Brighton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Luton. I look at now thinking, could we do it in a few years' time if we do manage to do it?
Of course, that's what I mean. You've got the one thing about the championship is it's so unpredictable. We've seen so many teams like down the years, like which will get into the playoffs or even promotion out of nowhere. I mean, I remember a few years ago when Barnsley got into the playoffs. I mean, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Even when we got promoted to the Premier League under David Wagner, we was the favourites to get relegated that season. Even when we got to the playoff final with Carlos Cobron that season, a lot of people predicted us, to get relegated. So, never say never. I mean, same with like Sunderland last season. I don't think many people predicted them to be in the playoffs, and they proved everyone wrong. So, never say never.
Well, that's really interesting because I've got Sunderland to do really well this season. I am going to move on to my predictions some point in this stream later on. There will be a video on it on my separate channel, either later on tonight or first thing tomorrow. So feel free to go and check that out, and I'll tell you why I've got every team at the certain position. Just look at the comment section for the time being. Top man by Stevie. Nathan saying, sorry, Macca, but you're getting smashed on Saturday up the greens. I don't know what your reaction is to that at the moment, Macauley.
I love the confidence, man. I'm excited, man. I can't wait to listen to your guys' atmosphere. I've heard good things from your guys, so I'm hyped, man.
Well, I can't lie from my point of view. I think on our day, we can be absolutely amazing. Yeah. And then there's other days where, annoyingly, we're basically underperforming for atmosphere, if you want to put it that way. Steve has just put poor Warnock. He wanted a mean now on the touchline this Saturday score draw. Graham Turner's joined the chat. Hello, Graham. How are you doing? Come on, you Greens. But of course, this stream's a different one to normal, guys, because Harvey Rosevere is currently in Butlins at the moment. So he should be back next week for our preview against Watford for our first away day of the season. As Liam's just put his terrible joke there. But yeah, no, of course, myself and Liam have obviously made it today. Liam, how are you feeling coming into this game on Saturday, and how are you feeling with us as a club at the moment coming into this season and with our pre-season we've just had?
Pre-season was good apart from two results, Swindon and Torquay.
Swindon and Torquay, 100%.
Well, at least Torquay beat the irrelevant club. Anyway, I mean, I am confident coming into the championship season because obviously we would have to improve our away form. Obviously, it was decent last season, but it has to be better this season because the clubs are much bigger, much better financially than us, budget-wise. But I think this game, first home game of the season, you couldn't really pick a much better home game to start, because if you handpicked a home game for us to start, you'd either go for one like Huddersfield or Blackburn or any other club that is around mid-table. Personally, sorry to say, Macauley. But for me, I think we could win tomorrow. I think I have got us to win. But all in all, really, I think we will have a successful season coming up.
Yeah, no, I am really confident coming into this season, but I can't lie, and I will say this now. I do think our home form is going to be the key in us not just surviving, but at least attempting to finish in mid-table. Because I will say this now for my predictions. I've got us to win only 2 away games this season. That's how unconfident I am. That's how unconfident I am for the away games. And because I've got us to win 16 games this season and 14 of them are at home. So I am constantly relying on our home form this season to do us well, basically, if you want to put it that way. And I will say this now: the two games I've got us winning away are Birmingham because of our FA Cup win there last time out when we beat them at St Andrews, and Swansea because it's Morgan Whittaker's former club, and I can see him tear them apart for some reason in that game. They're the only 2 games away I see us winning, but everyone else, God knows. I'll even, honestly, I've said to Liam off camera already, if we manage to get a point at Watford next week, I will celebrate like we've won the league, because I know it's something towards not just surviving, but doing well this season as well. Same if we got a point at Huddersfield. I will literally survive not just survive, I'll literally celebrate like as if we've won the league, basically, if you want to put it that way. But obviously, when we go to the John Smith Stadium in January, so that is a long while away. Game week 27, that is.
That's my birthday, you know.
Is it really?
January, you come over, yeah. My birthday.
Oh, well, can we try and spoil your birthday if possible with a jammy 2-1 win? Richard Francis from Jana's on Tour has joined the chat. Hello, mate. How are you, pal? How are you? But obviously, as it stands, Macauley. Okay, go on. What is your prediction for this game as it stands?
I have a feeling it's going to be a goal fest. I think both teams will go for it. I think the atmosphere will be bouncing. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Huddersfield win.
Oh,
the away
no.
Watch the away in scene. I can't believe we saw it out.
Liam,
we got train striking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There is that as well. No, Liam, I can.
1,600 fans is amazing.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. No, Liam, I was just going to say, I can already imagine my vlog after Saturday's game if that happens. It's going to be...
This would be you, Jack.
Why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah, it would be. Oh, genuinely, it'd just be pure rage the whole last 5 minutes of it. I would not be happy at all. But at the same time... Oh, go on.
Hopefully it's this, though.
Yes, Plymouth did score. Just heard someone in the background saying, Plymouth scores!
Oh, well, as we all see there, guys, Mr. Meme of the Argyle Way is back, as we all see. But that is the outcome I do hope at the end of the day. But I don't know. I'll say this now. My prediction's a 2-1 win for us. I do think you will. I do think you will draw level for a bit with us, though, in the game. I can't lie.
Yeah, well, I can see us losing as well. That there's been a few times. I know it's pre-season, but like our last game against Hereveen, like just weren't creating enough. I know it's only a pre-season game, but it is frustrating to watch. So I just hope and a bit more enthusiasm on the ball. We take a little bit more risks. We play it a little too safe, which is something we need to improve on. We need to take more risks and get forward a little bit more.
No, 100%. No, I don't blame
chances.
Henry has joined the chat. Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Hello,
which clubs, Macauley, are you, let's say, bricking yourself the most for both away days and clubs coming to the John Smith Stadium for this season?
I think there's an obvious one. West Yorkshire are.
Well, I hope you smash them anyway, because my second team in the Premier League is Chelsea because of my dad. So I hope you do smash Leeds for that reason.
Yeah, I'm excited for Leeds. It's going to be we can't stand them. They can't stand us. They always make it out like Huddersfield care about Leeds more than Leeds care about Huddersfield. But make one thing sure, they cannot stand us. I think the Sheffield, obviously Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United is the biggest derby in Yorkshire, but I'd put Huddersfield Leeds second in Yorkshire. I'd put it above Bradford Leeds.
Yeah, Bradford's an interesting one. Game. Bradford's an interesting one, and coincidentally, I've got Bradford to go up from League Two this season. Finally.
I hope they do. They're too big for League Two. They're a big club. Bradford.
I mean, I agree. They're too big for League Two. I think they're a League One club personally.
Yeah, they've got a great fan base. You know.
However, their downfall was, well, I guess all down on them really. Yeah. So it's just part of. It's just part of football, really. I mean, look at us when we were in freaking League Two for God knows how many years. I remember as a what was it? It was 2011 we got relegated to League Two. I was a 12-year-old kid and I was reacting to it on the radio, thinking, "How the hell are we down here? We're in the Championship 2 seasons ago, and now we're in League Two." That's exactly what I was thinking. They were dark times, and thankfully we are back to where we want to be for the time being, and hopefully we can actually go higher and do better this time. Especially that it's clear what our owner Simon Hallett wants us to achieve, really, as well. I'm really confident in the guy. I think it genuinely is going to be our best season in ages.
Yeah.
But I am going to say 2-1 to us on opening day, purely because first of all, I just think our home form is going to be brilliant again. Second of all, this might be a bit of a link here, but this time last season, our first home game of the season was against one of your Yorkshire neighbours, Barnsley, who we did end up beating 1-0 thanks to Finnas's masterclass. And third of all, I just think now that we're newly promoted again and all that, I just think we're going to be so up for this first game. But then once a few games come, that's where I feel reality's going to hit us, and we just have to work for where we want to finish, basically, at least this season. But my goal scorer for this game, now I thought hard about this. Most of us would go for the likes of Ballymumba, Morgan Whittaker, Ryan Hardy, but I have gone for... Oh, you've gone Whittaker yourself. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't blame you. And I'm really confident in Whittaker this season. But one I'd say to look out for Saturday, Macauley, is I've gone for one of our new youngsters who's just broken into our squad this pre-season. And I've got really high hopes for him as well. And I know that sounds biased because he is from Cornwall, just like myself. So I know that may be one reason. But the other reason being, I'm really impressed with his pre-season. He scored the winner when we played Hearts, one of Scotland's biggest clubs, in July. We played Hearts in Spain and beat them 1-0. Freddie Asaka. That is who I've gone with for my goal scorer, Freddie Asaka. I think he is going to be the one that I think is going to be one to watch on Saturday, and he is my goal scorer for Saturday. I have really high hopes for the guy, but I'm really excited regardless. And like you've said, though, I even said to myself this summer, it wouldn't shock me if Huddersfield even battle for playoffs again, because I know what they like. They're like, they have a brilliant season, then they have a terrible season, and they'll go back to a brilliant season.
I tell
again,
you who you should look out for actually on the weekend. I don't know if it'll be starting or not. But our new striker called Kyle Hudlin, he's like 6'5", he's massive.
You know what? I'll share the screen now because I've actually got your if it loads up.
He came on against Harvey E and he literally scored within a few minutes of coming on. He got into a great position and it was only a tap-in in the end, but the way he got into the position, he's looking promising.
Oh, definitely. No, I'll get the here we go. So this is your squad for this season. So of course I've seen you've signed Chris Maxwell from Blackpool. I think that'll be really interesting because I highly rated him at Blackpool personally. Blackpool was another one we had in pre-season and we beat them 2-1 at Bloomfield Road. So that's also given me high hope for this season as well. We got your defence there. Anyone in the defence we should look out for Saturday?
I think Pearson, he's putting in a good shift, he's improved a lot since last season. He's looking decent.
Yeah, no, definitely. I see Jonathan Hogg is still there. I remember him in the Premier League. I remember him when you were in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, he's a legend, He's not the most naturally gifted footballer, but, he's going to give you 110%. He's a leader at the end of the day. That's what he does. He's got the experience.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. Andrew has joined the chat. Hello, mate. How are you? And we go on to, and then this is your attack up here. Now, Josh Koroma was at Portsmouth last season, a club we don't like, Liam and I, this is. He scored an absolute belter at Fratton Park against us. But the only thing being, that was the only thing I felt like he did for Pompey last season before he came back to you guys from his loan spell. But what has he been like for you guys at Huddersfield lately?
No, he's been pretty decent, to be honest with you. He's not had too many standout performances like you said, but we're excited for this season for him. I'm excited for him. I think he'll get a lot of game time under Neil Warnock, so I'm looking forward to it. I
can't lie, I do think, in fact, now that I've just said all that, I know I've predicted Freddie Asaka to score for us as my goal scoring prediction, but I can't lie. I do think if anyone scores for Huddersfield on Saturday, I will be honest, I do think it is going to be bloody Josh Koroma because of the Pompey links, and that's just why I think he's going to do that. So
yeah, probably now you said that.
It just wouldn't shock me at all, and I'll just react to that on Saturday, going, "Oh, it was written in the stars, wasn't it?" If anyone that I think is going to score on Saturday for Huddersfield, I do think it will be Josh Koroma. But are you happy with your transfer window this summer as well? I've seen you got a few departures there. Critchlow's gone Peterborough, as we see.
Yeah.
Ryan Schofield, goalkeeper's gone Pompey.
Yeah.
Dwayne Holmes, attacking midfielder, has gone to Preston.
Yeah.
Do any of those... Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, the transfer window, we weren't really signing anyone only until about a month ago. Obviously, all our fans were tweeting at the owner saying, what's going on here? And then out of nowhere, we've just been signing them non-stop. So, yeah, I'm happy with the business we've done. Obviously, a few players you've named there, I don't think they're good enough in this level, I'm afraid. Obviously, this championship, I think it's going to be the most competitive championship we'll ever see. So I think it's right we got rid of a few of those players and brought some new ones in.
You know what's really interesting about that as well is because ever since we got promoted, everyone was going like, well, look at that lineup. This is the best championship in years. And I kept jokingly replying, going, that's because we're in it. That's why. Of course, it's the best in years.
Add to it there.
So, honestly, I'm excited. and well, you championship boys this season will finally get a proper green club back in the championship this season as well. So there is that as well. No wonder everyone calls us the Green Army. So there's that as well. Do any of those transfers, though, that departed, do any of them hurt any of your fans, just out of curiosity?
I'm going to be honest. Not really, no. Like I said, I feel like most of those, it was time for them to go. You know, we've brought in the new recruitment. And we're just excited to see those new players in the Huddersfield Town shirt and, see what they can do and push us on to that next level. As, we want to get to that next level, fighting for the playoffs. I feel like that's where a team like Huddersfield belongs, is in and around the playoffs. Oh,
no, definitely. And then, of course, here's your pre-season. You beat Bodmin 9-0. Tavistock 0-0 with Tavistock. It's one of our neighbours, that is. It's one of our neighbours, that is, Tavistock.
Yeah, our pre-season was down in Cornwall.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And then, of course, Liscard, another club I know very well. You beat them 13-1. And then 4-0 win over Stockport and the 1-0 win over Heronveen. But no, I'd say that 4-0 win over Stockport is very impressive as well. I look at the brighter side as well. I mean, QPR got smashed 5-0 by Oxford, so that does give us hope as well.
Yeah, I think QPR will struggle this season, to be honest with you.
I will go through my predictions in a minute, actually. In fact, for the time being, do you want to say what your predictions are for the time being, from bottom to top, from all 24 clubs for this season?
What, mine?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what should we do to make it a little more interesting. Should we all go through our relegation and then we'll go through our bottom half?
Yeah, I agree. We'll do that. I mean, I've just done mine today and yesterday. There will be a video on that very soon. And of course, Liam's was on Twitter a few days ago. So there is that as well.
I've got it here, mine.
Oh, okay. Do you want to share screen it, Liam?
No, I don't need to share screen it.
Okay, all right then. Well, that's Liam's predictions right there. Robert,
I agree with the bottom three.
Well, I've got that's my bottom three as well. But I've got it in the different order. My bottom is QPR. I think they're going to have their worst season in a long time. Yeah. And I think for the first time since 2004, they will be back in League One.
You just survived Huddersfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts about that, Macauley? Huddersfield 21st.
Yeah. I can understand, why people say that, because obviously you look at last season and we just barely survived. It wasn't good enough last season, but we signed, like we said, we signed a few new players now. We've got new owners, American owners, and they want Huddersfield to be in and around the playoffs. And obviously the belief at Huddersfield at the moment, it's there. We believe in Neil Warnock. And I think we can surprise a lot of people this season. I don't feel like we'll get into the playoffs, but I think we'll have a top half finish, I'd say.
That's why I don't think you'll be in the relegation battle personally. Yeah, I know what you're like. Just like us, I think you'll surprise a few clubs personally.
Yeah, I understand why people do say we'll be in and around a relegation battle. Though I understand why people think.
I just trust Neil Warnock. I just can't imagine that man being relegated or scraping survival for League One.
Yeah, imagine if he got relegated though. Oh my god.
I can't even. Can you imagine Neil Warnock's reaction as well when you've seen all those years ago when he's been shouting at all his players at Sheffield United and all that.
Yeah,
your mic's crackling, pal.
I can already imagine him saying on Saturday exactly what he said for Sheffield United against us all those years ago back in 2006. I want to beat Plymouth so bad, and you know how much that will mean to me. I can imagine it already. No, honestly. George has joined the chat. Hello, mate. How are you doing? But yeah, no, I've got Cardiff 23rd, and then I've got Rotherham set 22nd. I think they'll give it a good go.
Yeah,
however, I think the players they've sold this summer, I think that's going to cost them.
Yeah.
I'll go. Who's your 21st, Macauley?
I've gone with Sheffield Wednesday. I just haven't seen enough business from them. A lot of things going on behind closed doors, which we're not seeing. A lot of negativity with the club. You know, I feel like they could struggle this season. Yeah,
fair enough. My 21st. This might surprise you both a bit. My 21st is Preston. I've put them down as one of my. I've put them down as one of my biggest underachievers for this season. I know that sounds a bit biased because a snake is in charge of Preston, Ryan Lowe, because he was going to take us to the Championship and then he buggered off for the money. It ended up being the right decision at the end because look what Schumacher's done for us. So there we go. Yeah. But I just don't see them doing that well. But I think the goals from Will Keane is going to keep them up.
That'd be very keen of him to do.
Yes, it would be. Who's your 20th? Who's your 20th, Macauley?
So my 20th, I've got my old predictions up. This is my original one. I ain't updated it.
Fair enough. Well, say if you want to make some changes now, I don't blame you at all.
I'm gonna go quick edit. You can just take your 20th. I'm just gonna give mine a quick edit.
All right, no worries then. Yours is Hull. That's really different.
I reckon Hull will surprise a lot of people, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Macauley, because that's different with me. Because I think Hull's one of my dark horses for this season. I think what Liam Rosenia did at the end of last season, I thought was exceptional, personally.
Yeah,
and they've kept their top scorer S. Stupinan as well. I think they're going to surprise a few people, but that's just me. My 20th. This might surprise you both as well. My 20th is Stoke. They're another one I think that's going to this season.
Yeah, Stoke.
I don't trust them. I don't trust their team at all. I know they've signed Mark Travers from Bournemouth, which I think is an excellent goalkeeper signing, but the rest of their squad, I'm not sure about. And I know their fans aren't too convinced with Alex Neil as their manager. So I genuinely see them scraping it.
Yeah, Stoke, yeah. And do you know who's another one who could struggle?
Yeah, go on.
West Brom, you know, there's a lot of problems going on with their owners.
You've gone different with me for that one, because while I do understand that West Brom are in a lot of financial issues right now, I think they're gonna be fine, and that's only because of a certain someone in charge at the Baggies right now, and that's why I think they'll be fine. But their financial problems, it could hinder them. But I think, you know, like Southend last season in the National League, that's exactly what I think West Brom's going to do this season in the Championship. But who knows? No, I think Carlos Corberán is a brilliant manager, and of course, the man nearly took you up in.
Yeah, he did. But the reason why he left Huddersfield is because he didn't have the financial resources, you know, to go again and compete for the playoffs again. So it will likely strike twice, you know. If he's not given the resources to go and do it at West Brom, is he fighting a losing battle?
No, definitely. My 20th, another surprise one here, because Liam's got them 7th. My 20th is Watford. And the reason... No, sorry, not my 20th. My 19th is Watford. My 20th is Stoke, of course. My 19th is Watford. And that is because they were actually in my top 6. But then I saw Ismail Assar departed for Marseille. Then I saw a lot of their star players departing. And you know what they remind me of right now? Because when it comes to sacking managers, they obviously remind me of freaking Chelsea. And Watford, well, I highly rate their coach, Valerian Ismail, of course. I mean, look what he did at Barnsley in 2021, of course. But I just feel like they're they're gonna have a slow start. They'll sack him too soon, and then it ends up being the worst off for them, and then they end up struggling. And I just think them selling Ismail Assar to Marseille, and I know a few of their other star players have left as well. I think it's going to cost them. I really think it's going to cost them.
I'm going to go with Preston for 19th.
Oh,
I think they overachieved massively last season, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And that's what being biased is right lows there, but I agree.
Yeah, I think, it's just too competitive this league this season, man. It really is. It's such a competitive league.
It's why I've got a few teams underperforming, and that's why I think us three promoted clubs are going to be absolutely fine because I'm there.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be fine.
I think they're like, we haven't been in League One for so long, and I just think we're going to surprise a few. The clubs I feel that are going to go down are going to be ones that have been in the Championship for such a while now. And I look at the relegation zone thinking, I feel like it'll finally be their turn.
Yeah.
My 18th is the same as Liam. My 18th is Sheffield Wednesday. They have just signed Deschamps Bernard from Manchester United, who I think is actually an excellent signing by them personally. I'm going to be hearing all year now that they've been promoted with us.
I don't want them to be.
Wednesday. I think they'll be absolutely fine. A lot of their players in their team I trust in Josh Windass, Barry Bannon, Cameron Dawson. Hate to say because obviously he's a former freaking scum player at Exeter. Who else is there? Of course, George Byers will be back from injury as well. I think their squad will be absolutely fine personally, but there's a lot of problems with some of their fans and their club owner Chansiri, and that's why I think they're going to do the worst out of us three promoted personally.
Yeah. I've gone with Birmingham City. You know, they've got new owners. It's looking up for them. I don't feel like they'll be...
I've got 19.
Yeah,
I don't feel like they'll be around too much of a relegation battle. I feel like they'll be fine Birmingham this season.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting because my 17th is Birmingham.
Yeah.
And that's, again, they've got new ownership. Throughout June, they were actually in my bottom three, and I thought they'd finally be their turn. But now they've got a new takeover, and the fact that I realised, of course, that the end of last season actually ended up all right for Birmingham. But with the new ownership and the fact I know they're going to be trying to replace Lodi's and all that, I just feel like they'll be happy to finish exactly where they finished last season. So I just don't see any improvements at all personally. But I think they'll be fine in avoiding the drop.
17th.
Yeah, Birmingham is my 17th. Who's your 17th, Macauley?
Yeah, I've gone with Watford on my 17th.
Oh, so you're actually not far from me, to be fair.
I'm not far from you. I feel like they'll have a little bit of a decline as well. You know, they've lost quite a bit of players. And it's a weird one with Watford this season.
Yeah, no, definitely. Moving on to 16th. So, of course, Liam has us. My 16th...
If I'm not... 16th!
My 16th is... If I rightly remember, let's have a look again. Yeah, there we go. My 16th is my other biggest underachievers for this season. And this might surprise you, Macauley, because I know he's a manager you love as well. My 16th is Norwich.
Yeah, no, I understand why.
Genuinely, I thought last season was awful from them.
Yep.
I don't trust their squad. Timu Puki's gone.
Yep.
Out Bali Mumba, who was meant to be in their plans to us. He's come back to us, and I think we've done brilliantly to sign him for that. Yeah. Well, I again with how competitive the league's going to be this season.
Yeah.
I really think Norwich are going to have their worst season in a long while. And David Wagner, I can't lie, is going to be one. I think he's going to be one of my first managerial casualties for this season, along with Valerian Ismail for Watford and Gareth Ainsworth for QPR. They're the three are going to get sacked.
Yeah. I understand why. I remember when I gave my very early championship predictions, and this is actually on my channel as well. I literally said the same as you. I don't think Wagner's the man for the job. I feel like he'll get sacked early on. I really do.
The only thing I'll give Norwich is that I think they've done well to keep hold of Max Aaron's their right back, because I know he's been linked to move to Fulham this summer. But I think personally, I think they're going to struggle this season.
Yeah.
Who's your 16th?
So my 16th is actually Swansea.
That's a bit different to me. I've got Swansea a little bit higher.
Yeah. Could go either way though, but a case of teams above them. I can't see Swansea finishing above the teams above them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Moving on to my 15th.
I think I had Plymouth in 15th, didn't I? Yeah.
My 15th is you guys. My 15th is indeed Huddersfield.
Huddersfield, yeah.
I can't lie. I don't see you challenging for playoffs this season. But at the same time, I think you'll forget the relegation worries from last season. So I just think this time you'll just have you'll play it safe and you'll have a bang average mid-table finish. So I think you'll be fine personally.
Yeah.
Caitlin's joined the chat. How are we doing? Bolton fan there. Bolton, of course, I've got second in my League One prediction. So I genuinely see them coming up. I see them coming up for next season.
I've got a massive Matchday vlog coming in a few weeks. Bolton v Wigan.
Oh, are you going to it?
I'm off to it. I got my
fair
tickets.
enough.
I'm off to it.
Nice one. No, that'll be very interesting.
I'm excited for that. I've heard good things about that rivalry.
Oh, definitely. Charlton fan 18's joined us. Hello, mate. How are we doing? And then I think I take it your 15th being us is the same reason on why I have Huddersfield 15th.
Yeah, I think I feel like you'll surprise a lot of people, and you could finish higher than this. I'm not writing you guys off whatsoever. I want you to do well. You're a decent team. I don't feel like you'll be in around the relegation battle. I can't
lie. I don't see us coming top half one bit, but I think we will be in for a very, very strong season.
Yeah.
There's a friend of mine in Plymouth who has us 8th, and I said to him, going, if that happens, that will be a genuinely legit dream come true. It'll be better than our 2008 season when we finished in 10th. So there we go. My 14th is Swansea. I think they'll do a bit worse from last season when they finished 10th, and I feel like Michael Duff might regret leaving Barnsley a little bit. However, I do trust their team and their players, and I think he will give it a good go. And from what I saw, he proved at Barnsley last season as well. I think he'll be in for a very good season. Personally, I think he's a very underrated coach as well, Michael Duff.
Yeah,
but I think they'll give it time to adjust again with him in charge, and they'll finish a comfortable mid-table. But yeah, sorry, go on. Who's your 14th?
I've gone with Hull. I feel like they'll surprise a lot of people this season. A lot of people have what I've seen have them in a relegation, but I think the Hull will be fine. I trust the manager. They've got some decent players. Have made some good business in the transfer window. They had a decent pre-season as well. So I'm looking forward to see Hull City this season.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I take it 100% as they're one of your neighbours. You plan to go to the MKM this season?
Yeah, I didn't go last season. I didn't go to last season, so I'm definitely looking forward to go to this season. It's a really unique stadium, so I'm looking forward to go over to Hull.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Oh, Caitlin's asked you, by the way. Take it you're in the Bolton end. Are you in the Bolton end or the Wigan end for this Bolton-Wigan game?
Oh, I'm in the Bolton end.
You are in the Bolton end. Oh, fair enough. Well, I went to Bolton in January. I think it was a very decent away day, personally. So yeah, I think
I'm looking forward to it.
And then 13th, I have us. I just genuinely think we're going to surprise a lot of people, honestly. And I mean, the only downside being, like I said earlier in this stream, I only see us winning 2 away games this season, and those 2 being Birmingham, because I think we'll repeat what we did in the FA Cup in 2022, and Swansea, because it's Whittaker's football club, and I can see him having an absolute screamer of a game there.
Yeah.
But I got us to win 16 games this season, and 14 of them are at home. Exactly, and 14 of them are at home. So that's also why I think we'll comfortably end up mid-table. But
yeah,
I say with a big if. I basically, to put it this way, Macauley, we could genuinely finish anywhere. We could end up doing a freaking Forest Green and have a shocker of a season. Finish rock bottom 24th, or we will surprise the entire league and get promoted to the Premier League for the first time in our history. With the big if, we could genuinely, as we're back in the Championship, we could genuinely finish anywhere. But I think realistically, I have high hopes for this season, and I do see us finishing 13th. Who's your 13th?
I've gone with Blackburn Rovers. I feel like the way they bottled the playoff last season was
that was mental, wasn't it? We were watching Millwall Blackburn together on the last day as well at my place, and I just couldn't believe both clubs on that day. It was
it's what made Millwall just as bad. Yeah, I don't know how they threw it away the last few games, but that's the pressure got to them. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And then coincidentally, I've got Blackburn 12th. I think them getting rid of Ben Brereton Diaz to Villarreal, I think that's going to cost them.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think that's going to cost them. I still think they'll put in some brilliant games in some parts of this season. Like I'll say this now, I've got them as it stands to beat Southampton 3-0 at Ewood Park. So there's that something there. But and I highly rate John Dale Thomason as a coach as well. I think he's a very good manager. But I think it's sellings like that. I think that's going to cost them, and I think they're going to slide down the table a bit. But they'll come to really be fine. Mid-table, I'd say, for Blackburn. All right, then. Well, who's your 11th?
A team which has improved a lot. They've made a lot of signings. Bristol City.
Oh, you've got Bristol City 11th.
Yeah, I've been impressed by the transfers they've done.
Sorry,
I'm a big believer in Bristol City this season. I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Fair enough.
This season.
Wait, did I miss out your 12th by accident? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, because you had Blackburn 13th. Sorry, I did miss the number there.
12th, it would have been.
Who's your 12th? Yeah.
Millwall.
So you got Millwall 12th and Bristol City 11th.
Both have a similar season.
Yeah, fair enough. And my 11th is Hull. Again, they're one of my dark horses this season. And just like Watford, they're another club we have, unfortunately, an appalling record at. And I've already got us to lose 2-0 at Hull as well. So what does that tell you? But yeah, and I think Hull's going to surprise a lot of people. I can see the Mauling Tigers finishing in 11th place. And then go on, mate. Who's your 10th?
My 10th is Ipswich Town.
Oh, okay.
I reckon they'll have a good season. I reckon out of the three teams which come up, I think they'll be the best. I feel like they'll be the Sunderland of this season. Obviously, fair enough. I reckon they'll have a great season this season.
My 10th is the same as Liam's, coincidentally. West Brom. My 10th is indeed Carlos Corberan's men.
Yeah.
I think they're going to fight for playoffs, but like I've been saying, their financial woes, I think that's going to hinder them, and I think they're going to slightly drop a little bit, but I do think they're going to be up there at least. So yeah, I think West Brom's going to end up finishing 10th. And then who's your 9th?
Coventry is my 9th. I feel
same as Neil. Fair enough.
Slight drop off.
Yeah, to be fair, that wouldn't surprise me at all. And then my 9th is Ipswich, coincidentally. I agree. I think they're going to do the best out of us three. But there's a lot of people predicting in playoffs, which I can't lie, I don't see happening one bit. And that's only because I think, yes, I do see like they're going to be another Sunderland or something, but I just don't see any of us three just getting straight away into the playoffs. I just feel like the target for all three, Ipswich, us, and Wednesday, I just think all three of us are going to just want to at least survive, do well in the Championship at least, and then build from there and, have another season in the Championship, basically.
Yeah.
But I think they will. My 8th is Leeds. They're my bottlers for this season. So I've gone with a bold. I've gone with a bold one there. Leeds are my bottlers for this season. I genuinely don't see them going straight back up. I will say this now. There's only one of the relegated sides I see going straight back up, and I will say that later on in the stream itself. But I think out of the three, I think Leeds are going to end up the weakest, and I think there's going to be other teams that I've got in the playoffs that's going to surprise them. I think them losing Rodrigo is going to be a blow, personally. They're not the same team, I feel, as obviously back when they had Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. Of course, if they still have Calvin Phillips and Rafinha, I would have had them going up, bar none.
Yeah.
But Patrick Bamford, I do actually have as one of my predictions for one of my top scorers for this season. So that wouldn't shock me. But I just think I knew one of them. I was going to either both have a bold prediction and second of all have predict a team that's going to bottle it. And Leeds are that team I think that are going to bottle it. And when I did my fixture predictions as well, they actually end up in the top 6 for the majority of the season, and then they just end up in calamity of form.
Yeah.
So but Leeds are my bold prediction. I've got them 8th. Who's your 8th?
I've gone with Huddersfield in 8th. I feel like we'll be in and around the playoffs, but I feel we won't get in the playoffs. I'd love for us to get in the playoffs, but maybe that's me being biased. But I feel like the belief at the club at the moment it's there. I feel like we believe we can do it. We've done it before. We've done it so many times. We've been written off from the start, and then we're in the playoffs. So we've got that track record.
It's in the same way that I've got Leeds 8th. It might sound a little bit biased because I can't stand them, but I just genuinely look at that squad and I don't. Their manager is Daniel Farker, and I know he's done it before with Norwich, but I just with the other managers that I have ahead of them, I don't see him doing it again. And also, he got Norwich straight back relegated as well. I don't see him doing it at all.
Yeah. No, I understand why. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, even if Huddersfield did come 8th, to be fair, that's still a cracking season, regardless after what happened last season.
No, definitely. But it's one of them ones. It could go either way. You know, I could see us having an awful season. I could see us having a great season. I could see us finishing mid-table. There's so many possibilities.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And then my 7th, to narrowly miss out on playoffs, my 7th is Coventry.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because they've lost. The reason why I've got them to miss out is because, again, like Blackburn, they've lost their top scorer, Victor Gyökeres, and he's gone to Sporting Lisbon, which I think is a blow for them. But other than that, Mark Robins, I think, is a fantastic manager. He's kept the rest of the squad all around together. They've still got Gustavo Hamer in their squad as well, so they've done well to keep him as well. And also, I just think there's a really good big morale at Coventry right now, and a feel good factor with the club. And obviously, and also Mark Robins has progressed that team year after year after year. But this time with the top 6 I have, I think it's going to decline slightly. But with my fixture predictions, I ended up predicting Coventry do lose the playoff spots on the last day as well.
Ooh,
so yeah, that's what I mean. So yeah, I'm predicting heartbreak for Coventry.
Yeah.
All right, but who's your 6th?
My 6th, I have gone with Leeds in 6th.
Oh, you've got Leeds 6th. Fair enough.
Yeah, I reckon. I can't understand. I want them to bottle it. I want them to have an awful season, but I feel like they've got one of the best squads in the Championship. You know, I'm not too convinced with the manager there, but I feel like Leeds. I feel like they'll get into the playoffs. I don't feel like they'll go up though. I feel like they'll bottle the playoffs, but I think they'll sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's what
enough.
I mean. That's why I've got Huddersfield in 8th. I feel like if Huddersfield and Leeds are fighting for the playoffs, wow, that'll be mental. And
I forgot to say, sorry again. Who's your 7th for the time being?
Oh yeah, I had a think of doing this actually. I agreed with you, you know, with the old Norwich and David Wagner getting sacked, but I actually put them in 7th. But my original one, there was in and around the relegation battle. But I'll throw them 7th. I feel like I feel like the fans will be disappointed with that anyway, because I feel like they'd want to get back into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Who's your 5th?
I've gone with 5th place, Middlesbrough.
Oh, okay.
In fact, no. Sorry. No, Sunderland 5th.
Oh, you got Sunderland 5th. Fair enough.
Jeez.
Same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see them being up there as well myself, and I'll get on to Sunderland when I do. My 5th is Millwall, and Millwall, I can't lie, Millwall are my playoff winners this season. I just feel like the way last season ended for them, I feel like this season they have to surely do it. Gary Rowett has kept that team together. Not many of their players have departed, and I think there's going to be more clubs who I've never seen in the Premier League in my life that's going to eventually reach the Premier League. And I've never seen Millwall in the Premier League in my lifetime. And I just feel like it's going to be their year, honestly. And I think they want to get revenge. I feel like they want to get revenge from the way they bottled it last season.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I could see that, honestly. Yeah, they'll want to bounce back.
Yeah, no, definitely. Who's your 4th?
So my 4th, Middlesbrough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I reckon Middlesbrough they'll get into the playoffs again, but I feel like they'll just lack the consistency to get into the automatics.
Nah, yeah, fair enough. And that's what I have with my 4th place personally as well, because my 4th is Southampton. And this is the way I see it. I'll say this now. One of the relegated Premier League teams, I think, will miss the playoffs. One of the relegated Premier League teams, I think, will get playoffs. And then the other one, which I'll say later on, I've got as automatics. Yeah. So, Southampton, I've got 4th. But, again, they could easily finish top 2 with the squad they have. And I know they're bringing in young talent and all that as well. But I think Russell Martin is going to get adjusted to life at the club itself with his first full season and all that there. So I think they're going to slightly miss out, but I definitely think they're going to be up there though, regardless.
Yeah, well, my championship prediction compared to yours is quite boring because I've got the obvious two to finish in the top two. Being,
do you want to say it now? Leicester and Southampton.
And Southampton, yeah. I feel like a lot of
Same.
people will have those to finish in the top two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon Leicester will be like the Burnley of the season. I reckon Leicester will just run away with the league.
Well, I will say this now actually while we're talking about that. My champions are Leicester as well. So there we go.
Yeah.
I just think their squad's far too strong, even with Yuri Tillemans and Harvey Bard's gone. I've got Iheanacho. I've got Kelechi Iheanacho as my predicted top Golden Boot winner for this season in the Championship as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the fact he stayed there is incredible, personally, in my opinion, as well. I wouldn't be even shocked if Vardy was once again up there as well. We all know what he's like as well.
Yeah.
But honestly, they've got good ownership. I thought they were a bit unlucky to get relegated personally last season. I know they weren't good enough at the end, of course, but I think they're still very good ownership and all that. They remind me of West Brom in 2009 when they got relegated from the Premier League. They bounced straight back up, and everything around the club was so well run at the time. And that's exactly what I think with Leicester for this season. Like, they're down and out from how last season ended, but I think this season they'll want to be back for more, and that's why I think they'll win the league.
Yeah, exactly. They've got everything to bounce back up. You know, they've got good owners, great players, decent-ish managers, so they've got everything, you know, to bounce back up. It's just whether or not they can find it and do that. So that's a waiting game. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, definitely. And I will say this now. My third place and my... actually, I'll read this comment first from Sean Gladden. Ipswich top 6, Norwich relegation. Nah, I don't see that happening, I'm afraid, mate. But
what's your third?
My third, the team I've got to bottle the league this season, I have gone with Middlesbrough, which means I do think Sunderland are going to have their year this year, personally, in second place. Middlesbrough, I think are going to be like basically what Sheffield Wednesday were like in League One last season. I genuinely think they're going to bottle the league. And that's interesting for me to say because I do think Michael Carrick is the best manager in the league for me this season. But
yeah, I mean, what he did last season.
Exactly, incredible. But I just don't think their players are going to do it at the end. And I've got Middlesbrough to lose that playoff final to Millwall as well. So it's just a massive sting in the teeth for them as well. And I've also seen some Borough fans aren't actually quite confident for this season. One of our friends isn't confident for this season. Really? Middlesbrough YouTuber Daz's football stand. He's not confident at all for Borough this season.
Ooh.
So
I didn't know about that.
Same with Millwall. Same with Millwall. I think it will be Sunderland's season personally, and I think they're so back. I think they're back to where they are and well run and all that. And I think they'll be back in the Premier League no time.
Yeah,
and they may have lost Amad Diallo back to Man United, but Ross Stewart coming back as well. I just have high hopes for their squad. I really think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
No, they definitely are, 100%.
These are that's Harvey's predictions as well.
And that's Harvey Rosevere's predictions, and of course our other member, Harvey England. He's not here either. He's at work at the moment, but he will be on streams very, very soon. Yeah. Harvey will also be producing a Matchday vlog on Saturday of our game versus the Terriers.
Yep.
Will be very interesting indeed. Which I guess before we go on to our predictions for match week 1, is there anything you wanted to ask Macauley, Liam? And is there anything that you wanted to ask us, Macauley?
Say that one more time, sorry. It cut out.
I was just going to say, before we go on to the last bit of our stream, which is our championship predictions of match week 1, before we go on to that, is there any questions you have for Macauley and for Huddersfield coming into Saturday, Liam?
In the Saturday, I was going to ask him what's your favourite home fixture you're looking forward to this season?
Favourite home fixture?
Home fixture, yeah.
Oh, there's so many, you know. The Yorkshire derbies, you have Leeds, Sheffield Wednesday. I feel like we have to go with the Leeds. It has to be Leeds.
Nice. It's the West Yorkshire derby at the end of the day, isn't it?
And even when you go to Ellen Road, I know for a fact when those tickets go on sale, they'll be sold out within minutes.
Yeah, you know what? That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it's one of those rivals, you know. We can't stand them. They can't stand us. It's hatred. There's a statue outside in the Leeds United Stadium. I remember years ago when Huddersfield played them. It's quite disrespectful, but like a lot of Huddersfield fans, they just threw blue and white paint over it. It's just one of those rivals, you know. We just can't stand them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones.
Exactly. I was going to say actually before we go on to these predictions. Actually, I think I did actually forgot to say my 6th place for my predictions. I forgot to say my 6th place is I did miss them out at the end. My 6th place is my dark horses for this season, Bristol City, and that is because
I see why.
That is because I did this in my own time with my fixture predictions. I have predicted Bristol City to sneak playoffs over Coventry and Leeds on the last day, basically, which is a double whammy for both Coventry and Leeds. I just feel like there's a lot of feel-good factors at the club right now. I think they're going to improve this season. I think Nigel Pearson's a really good coach as well. I know they have been bang average the last few seasons, but I think they'll improve on that as well. I think Alex Scott's a top quality player. They signed Anis Mehmeti, who we all saw was absolutely brilliant from Wickham. So I just think they're building it. I think they're building a team right now, and that's why I think they're going to sneak playoffs. But I do think they're going to get knocked out in the semis by Borough straight away. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Predictions time,
I guess I've got a question for you actually.
Oh, okay, go ahead, of course.
Because Plymouth, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like, who's your biggest rival then? Who's your
Exeter City.
Oh, Exeter, yeah.
They're a horrible club, I'll tell you that now. So,
Let's move on.
No, basically, the good thing about it is that we've got promoted and they haven't. So, it's just nice to get away from them. Is
there any teams you guys are excited for, obviously, to come over to Home Park?
From my point of view, I would say, I mean, Liam's granddad supports Leeds, so I guess there is that. And I guess from my point of view, I would also say Leeds because my dad's a Chelsea fan, so they're my favourite Premier League team for that. And obviously, Leeds cannot stand Chelsea, so there is that for me as well. But from an Argyle perspective, the two I'm going to say are Bristol City, because first of all, they're our nearest club, and second of all, back in the day when we were in the Championship, the media and all that kept labelling us to as like, oh, this is going to be a battle as best of the West. Let's see what happens here then, shall we? And then the other club is Preston, and that's because our former manager is in charge, Ryan Lowe, and I think we're going to be well up for that game.
Yeah, I can't wait. For this
they're the two for me, Bristol City and Preston. Maybe Southampton in a way, because they're not too far, but I don't think we mind Southampton personally, because both of us cannot stand Portsmouth. So there we go. We have a dockyard rivalry with Portsmouth, and obviously we have a dockyard rivalry with Portsmouth, and obviously Southampton and Pompey, obviously South Coast derby, that is. So we have a bit of we don't mind each other in a way, but obviously we're not far from each other at all. So it wouldn't surprise me if it does get a little bit heated, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, any of you got any more questions before we move on to our predictions?
No,
not really. No.
Yeah, fair enough then. Well then, because I know you've got an hour regardless. Anyway, Macauley, and I know it's all the same with me. So I guess we'll move straight on to our predictions. Shall I share the screen I have on FOTMOB for the time being, Liam, or should we just go with this? Because FOTMOB will. All right then. Well, that's the first game. It all starts, as you can see there, guys. It all starts. Yeah, it all starts tomorrow night at Hillsborough, and I could be doing a live stream on this as well, just to put some more Championship content out there. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday hosts Southampton on opening day tomorrow night at Hillsborough. Go on then, lads. What's it going to be?
Under the lights, Hillsborough.
2-0 Southampton.
1-0 Sheffield Wednesday win.
You're going 1-0 Wednesday.
Wow.
Fair enough.
The home atmosphere will be bouncing. Yeah,
okay then.
Starting the Championship campaign off with a shock.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Not the opener. I've got someone with a bet. Oh.
I can't lie. I will say this now. As our main aim is to not just survive but finish mid-table, and the fact that Southampton's going to be an obvious promotion candidate, I do want Southampton to win this. So if Wednesday do lose this, I think that will give us a bit of confidence in that as well. Yeah. But as the season goes on, time will tell, I guess. But no, Liam, you've gone 2-0 Southampton. Why are you going 2-0 Southampton? Jack's also going 2-0 Southampton there.
I just think Southampton obviously basically favourites for top two this season, have a good squad, have an a former Premier League squad, which they still have intact, most of the players. And Wednesday done some good signings, but I just see Southampton being the Southampton of the Premier League.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not going. Obviously went down, but the players they have, they should win.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, fair enough. I forgot to say also, yeah, Louis said that, 2-1 win Saturday, same as what Liam and I have put. Whittaker and Hardy to score, fair enough. And who's your scorer for Southampton in this game, Liam?
Ward-Prowse.
You've coincidentally gone the same as me, because I also think James Ward-Prowse will score tomorrow night. I can just imagine a free kick of his already. I will say this now, I do think Wednesday will take the lead tomorrow night, and I think the home fans will be absolutely buzzing from that and all that. It'll remind me of when South Africa took the lead at the World Cup in 2010. So I do think Wednesday will take the lead, but I do think Southampton's quality will end up too much for them at the end. And I've gone with a 3-1 Southampton win personally. I do see Wednesday taking the lead though, and it wouldn't shock me if they're 1-0 up at half time as well. But I see Southampton getting 3 goals in the second half, and I think they'll come out as 3-1 winners to show their intent of wanting to go back up this season.
Yeah,
that'd be good for my bet.
I reckon the 67th Barry Bannon penalty, 1-0.
Oh, Bannon penalty. That doesn't shock me either. Wednesday get a penalty as well at the beginning as well.
Yeah,
that'd be written in the stars as well. Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah, definitely. So yeah, no, I'm going to go 3-1 Southampton. The next game we got there is at Ewood Park. We got Blackburn versus West Brom. My 12th place versus my 10th place. What have you got for this one then, guys?
I'm gonna go with a boring 1-1.
Oh,
I feel that points will be
okay.
shared. Yeah, I feel like it'll be an edgy game. Both teams will go for it, but yeah, I feel like the points will be shared.
Nah, fair enough. Who have you got to score in that game, Macauley?
We do goal scorers as well.
Yeah,
if you want, mate. Yeah, if you want. If you don't want to, I don't blame you.
I'll do goal scorers for next fixtures. I just didn't write my goal scorers down.
No, that's all right. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah, fair enough. You're going to 1-1 draw then. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, to be fair, in all honesty, considering that I've got both of these teams 12th and 10th respectively as well. Liam, what have you gone with for this one?
2-1 West Brom and manager to score.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, that'd be a cracking away win for them as well, that would be.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, Liam and I are going on a similar trend here with goal scorers, because I also think Josh Maja will score for West Brom, coincidentally. Jack's going with Niall Ennis to score on his debut for Blackburn, but
you can jog on.
No, I mean, I personally, I will say this now. I do think I do hope Niall Ennis obviously flops at Blackburn, because he's left us for them. But at the same time, obviously, I want to wish him the best for everything he's done for us and all that. But for this game, I also think a draw. I've gone with a goal fest for this one. I think they're going to both be right at it at the beginning. I've gone with 3-3 for this game. Josh Maja to score, but I just think the points will be shared between the pair of them on the first game of the season. So I agree with Macauley. I do think it'll be a draw, but I think it'll be an absolute goal fest. So I guess moving on, we've got Bristol City versus
Bristol
Preston.
City versus Snake FC. Anyway,
if you want to put it that way, yeah, Bristol City versus Preston at Ashton Gate. What are you guys going for this one?
Ooh, I'm
2-1.
gonna go
2-1 Bristol and Naki Wells.
Oh, you got Naki Wells.
Former Huddersfield man.
Oh, he is as well, isn't he? Yeah.
I think Bristol will win this game. I'm gonna go a comfortable 3-1.
Oh, okay.
I reckon. I do reckon Naki Wells will score as well.
Yeah, fair enough. And well, finally, this is where I've gone for a different goal scorer to you both. But I do think Bristol City will win this 2-0. I think they'll be too strong for Preston on opening day.
Yeah.
Considering I've got Bristol City to finish playoffs and Preston to finish in 21st. So there we go. My goal scorer for this game is their midfielder, Alex Scott. I genuinely think he's going to be one of the best players in the league this season, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's if, of course, he stays at Bristol City itself, but I think he will be personally. I think if they keep him again, another reason why I think they'll get playoffs. But yeah, I think Alex Scott's going to score 2-0 to Bristol City.
Millwall.
Yeah, Middlesbrough versus Millwall at the Riverside.
Ooh, I'm going to go with a 1-0 Borough win.
Oh,
I've
okay.
gone 2-0 Borough.
Who's your goal scorers, guys?
I'll go
I know
with,
Liam will have his written down.
I'll go with Johnny Howson. Why not?
Yeah, fair enough.
Akpom for me.
Bullet header. Why not?
Yeah, I've also gone Akpom, and same as Macauley. I do think Borough's going to win this, a type 1-0 win.
Norwich Hull.
Norwich versus Hull at Carrow Road.
Ooh, now this one. I'm going to go last for this one because I've got a massive shock here.
2-0
go on,
Norwich and 2-0 Norwich and Sargent.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm going to go with Norwich City 0. I'm not even messing about. Hull City 3. I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
This will be one of those games that you look at,
Bloody
like,
hell.
what is going on? Telling you, Hull City are shocking a lot of people.
Fair enough. Well, I know I've got Hull to finish 11th and Norwich to finish in 16th. So there is that there is that disadvantage there for Norwich there. But as they're home, I know they're home and all that, but I think for their first game back, I do think they'll end up winning this. And I think I've got I have got Norwich to win this 2-1.
I reckon Seri for Hull, but I feel he'll nick 1 or 2. He's looking good. I feel like he'll have a good season. They've got so many good players, Hull City. Ryan Woods, there's so many, man. I reckon Hull will walk all over Norwich.
What's your check?
I've gone 2-1 Norwich, but I do think Estupinan is going to score for Hull. I think he's going to be on fire this season.
Stoke versus Rotherham.
Yeah, we'll go back to our fixture last because that's the most important. Stoke Rotherham. Well, we have to be fair, but if you want to go back to it, I don't mind. Stoke Rotherham. Go on, then, guys.
I feel like this will be the boring game of the week, and I'm going to go 0-0.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, one of those ones. I feel like we have to have one of those ones.
2-0 Stoke and Gale to score.
I have gone also a draw for this. I've gone 1-1.
Yeah.
Both teams I see struggling this season, and my goal scorer is Chiquinho, but I think this will be such a dead game, personally.
Yeah, that's what I reckon as well.
And I've also got both teams to not win a game in a long while for this season as well, so that'll also be really interesting.
Yeah.
Swansea Birmingham.
I'm going to go 1-0 to the Brummies, and I'll go with Tyler Roberts.
Oh, okay then.
2-1 Swansea.
Last few minute winner. And the Birmingham fans go crazy.
Okay then, fair enough. Go on, Liam.
2-1 Swansea and Pirro to score.
I have gone with 3-2 to Swansea. Swansea to nick it with Jerry Yates scoring.
Yeah.
Their new signing from Blackpool again, which I think is a cracking signing for Swansea personally. But I guess the season will tell. And then we move on to the M69 derby. Leicester hosting. Oh no, not quite yet. I was going to say with the fixtures that I wrote down in the order that FotMob showed, it's gone. This app has gone completely different for this one. So no, we'll do Watford QPR next then at Vicarage Road.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Watford. I reckon Tom Ince will get one.
Oh, okay, yeah, the new signing from Reading.
New signing, of course. Yeah.
3-0 Watford and Kalu to score, whatever his name is.
Yeah, fair enough. And I've gone differently for this one. I have gone with a goal-festing 2-2 draw for this one.
Ooh.
Two clubs not hugely far from each other, so I do think QPR are going to be up for this game, even though I do think they're going down. But I do think they'll. I think it'll be 2-1 Watford for a long while, but I think they'll nick a point right at the end of the game.
Ooh,
and
limbs.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and my goal scorer for this is Lyndon Dykes for QPR.
Yeah.
Leicester Coventry.
The M69 derby, one of the games to watch for this season, one of the most fiercest rivalries in the country. Leicester versus Coventry, East Midlands versus West Midlands. This game, I think, is going to be an absolute cracker on Sunday, and not surprisingly, it's on Sky Sports.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
I've gone 3-1 Leicester and Vardy to score.
I've gone, mine's a bit boring. I've gone 1-1. I think Matt Godden will score for Coventry, and I've gone with Jamie Vardy equalising.
Oh, fair enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yours, Jack?
Similar to what Blimmin Exeter did to us at Home Park last season. I do think Coventry will take the lead in this game. I can't lie, and it will shock and surprise the Leicester faithful. But the same as that, the same as our 4-2 win last season over Exeter, I think Leicester's going to do exactly the same thing, and I think they will turn this game around. I have backed Leicester to win on opening day 4-2. I do think Coventry will give it a huge go though on opening day, of course, against their biggest rivals as well. I mean, like, imagine just having your biggest rivals on opening day. It's just mental.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it? But I do think Coventry will give it a go, but I think Leicester's going to end up too much for them. And
who's your goal scorer?
So my goal scorer is my Golden Boot predicted winner, Kelechi Iheanacho. And Argyle Army has joined the stream. Hello, mate. How are you doing? But yeah, I think Iheanacho's going to score for this one.
Leeds Cardiff.
But I will say this now. This is my biggest drumming of the weekend. I will say this now. Actually, you go first, Liam, actually.
I've gone 2-0 Leeds, Bamford to score.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've gone 2-0 Leeds as well, and I'll go with Bamford. I reckon.
Yeah, fair enough.
Road as well.
You've gone.
I've gone 5-0 to Leeds, and my goal scorer. I know. I think they're going to rinse Cardiff apart on opening day. Personally, again, this is why Leeds are my predicted bottlers for this season. I can see them having an incredible start, and second half of the season they end up saying Liam's words, cack, and they end up bottling the league. But I genuinely think they're going to smash Cardiff on opening day. And again, I think Cardiff's going to go down regardless. Anyway, I mean, I hope Cardiff win because I cannot stand Leeds, but unfortunately, I think Leeds are going to smash them. And my scorer though for Leeds is Daniel James, and the reason being he's a former Swansea man, and of course Cardiff are Swansea's biggest rivals, so he's the one.
He's former United as well.
He is, but like obviously, but like considering that they're playing against Cardiff, Swansea's biggest rivals, of course, that's why I think he's going to score for Leeds in this game. So yeah, I think they're gonna thump Cardiff, and again, I think Cardiff are going to really struggle this season, which moves us on to our final game of this weekend. Sunderland hosting Ipswich, and there's been rumours that Ipswich's number one keeper, Christian Walton, a supporter of ours actually, and he's from Weybridge in Cornwall, he could be missing this game on Sunday at the Stadium of Light.
Really?
Yeah, which is a bit of a blow for Ipswich, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it is.
I've gone
2-0. Actually.
I've gone 2-0 Sunderland. Semedo to score, whatever his name is, from Sunderland.
Yeah, no, I know who you mean.
Yeah.
I've gone 2-1 to Ipswich.
I'll
go with Dominic Ball, Ollie Evans. Yeah, I reckon, like I said earlier on in my championship table prediction, I reckon Ipswich are going to do what Sunderland did last season. I feel like they'll be in and around a playoff push. I think they'll do well. I think they will do well. I can't lie. Yeah,
but
I think the teams who came up, I reckon Ipswich will do the best.
Yeah, fair enough. That doesn't surprise me, and I've got the same for that. But I do think Sunderland are going to be too strong for them in this game at the end. I do think Ipswich will take the lead, though. I will give Ipswich that, but I think Sunderland will turn it around and win 2-1. So I do think the Black Cats will win on opening day, and I think Ipswich potentially missing Christian Walton will be huge for them on opening day. But I am backing Nathan Broadhead to score for Ipswich because it's against his former club, so I think he'll be well and truly up for that, and I think he will give Ipswich the lead in the game. But I think Sunderland will be too strong for them at the end, and I've got them to win 2-1. And then, obviously, with our game, I think we'll win 2-1 with Freddie Asaka scoring on his debut.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Right.
All the same.
I hope your atmosphere is bouncing. Really
I mean, what's your fan base like for atmosphere and noise for both away and home?
Well, like I said last season, when we had Fotheringham in charge, it was so toxic. I literally going to the away days embarrassed. We weren't filling out the away days. It was really bad. But then when we appointed Neil Warnock, so much changed. The fans, the home atmosphere were bouncing. We had in our home stadium next to the away fans, we have our ultras. Something you'd see in like Germany. We have alt flags there, the singing ultras. We call them. We call it the cowshed. It was bouncing, and on the road, the away days, we brought 3,000 to Cardiff. We sold out Cardiff on a 12:30 Sunday. Yeah, so when things are going good, we'll back the team. Like we said, we do believe in Neil Warnock. So I reckon you're in for a treat opening day.
In general, though, just like in general, even without the toxic atmosphere, what is Huddersfield usually like for noise and all that, and also attendances? I mean, attendances you're brilliant, of course, but like, what are you usually like for like noise and all that?
No, on the road or in just home and away.
In general, both home and away.
No, we are noisy fan base. We travel in numbers. We are I'd say one of the most underrated fan bases in England. I'm not just saying that to be biased, but I don't think Huddersfield get too much recognition for their fan base.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, I am really excited to see what the noise is like in my vlog. I'm watching the game itself from the away on Saturday, regardless as well.
Even if you guys, come up to Huddersfield in January, you'd be in for a treat there.
I mean, we intend to do that anyway. So I've never been to Huddersfield in my life, actually, so it will be something to tick off. Yeah,
no, it is. I'm not just saying it because I'm biased, but the atmosphere, especially at the home atmosphere, it's special. It's a bit like Crystal Palace. The way they have the ultras, the flag.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
It's interesting you say that as well, because I personally think Palace have the best atmosphere in the Premier League anyway, but that's just me.
Yeah. No, and obviously with the Huddersfield home fans being right next to the away fans, it creates such a good atmosphere.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's what's good about our stadium, really. But
I'm looking forward to it regardless. Sorry, say that again, Macauley.
Is your away stand next to your home stand, or is it like it's separate stand?
So yeah, we got the barn park end, which is where the away fans are. But yeah, we have got home fans, of course, right next to the away fans as well.
Yeah, right. I'm looking forward to
it. The Lyndhurst end, the Mayflower end, and the Devonport end, they're all the home fans.
Yeah.
It's usually the Devonport end that makes the most noise, which is
the most noise.
Completely opposite the barn park end. But I know where Liam is actually usually in the Lyndhurst end is actually rocking as well.
And I just got another quick question for you guys. Obviously, Plymouth, it's miles away from other away days.
It makes me so glad. Sorry, go ahead.
Teams charging you for like tickets. Is it cheap? Is it affordable? Obviously, the cost of living. It's Huddersfield, Middlesbrough are charging us like 35 quid for a ticket. It's just with the cost of living at the moment, it's too much. So I'm wondering what it's like for you guys.
I'd say it's a bit of both. Would you say, Liam? Bit of both?
It's not my age. I'm 19, but it's not too bad my category, to be fair.
For my age, it's terrible. I'll say for my age, it's terrible. I'll tell you that now. A season ticket's 515 quid for a 24-year-old. I know, it's ridiculous. It's stupid.
What? That's good, hell.
I know.
Way.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be what Sheffield Wednesday have released for a league,
that's an absolute
what
joke,
they've done. But honestly, a lot of season ticket prices I just think are disgusting right now.
Yeah, well,
look at Fulham's. Look at Fulham's in the Premier League. Awful.
It really is. That's the one good thing about Huddersfield. Theirs was so affordable. It really was. I only paid 170 somewhat for mine.
I was just gonna say the fact that we're miles away just makes me so proud of from Cornwall and living in Plymouth. So there we go and all that. My mum's from Plymouth, and that's obviously another reason why. And my mum's from Plymouth, so that's obviously another reason why I end up supporting. I support the mighty Argyle because it's my closest club to home, and it is my county's local club. So there we go. And I love everything about it. I love everything about living in Plymouth right now as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Living right next to the doorstep of the football club is just incredible. And what I love about living in Plymouth, regardless, I've got my Cornish University, and my friends one side, and my upcountry university the other side. So it's perfect for me for that.
That's it, man. Yeah,
it's perfect. But I'm afraid I guess that's everything we've covered then, guys. So I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that is the end of the stream there, guys. Of course, Liam's got darts tonight. I've got
I'm about to go in a sec. So
fair enough. I've got packing tonight because I've got a train journey back to Plymouth tomorrow. Coincidentally, exactly. So we'll be watching the opening day tomorrow night. Yep, and I will have a lot of packing to do, and we'll be having food. But again, a very interesting first preview of the season. Of course, much
much appreciated. And thanks to Macauley for coming on, representing Huddersfield for this stream. Of course, if you do want to join for our review, by the way, Macauley,
I'll let you know
whenever we do it. Let me know. We probably will. We'll probably do it on either Sunday or Monday, purely because of the fact that we've got Leighton Orient for our Carabao Cup next Tuesday. We'll probably aim for Sunday. We'll probably aim for Sunday. We'll probably aim for Sunday, mainly because we'll probably do the preview of Leighton Orient on Monday. But if you can make it, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, I'll try my best for you, man, and I'll give you a message on Instagram if I can.
That sounds good, mate. No, that sounds good. But yeah,
I'll drop your follow on Instagram and I'll subscribe. I need to subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem. But yeah, no, of course. Of course, thank you to everyone who's been listening to this stream. Of course, the subscribers everyone's been giving to the Argyle Way, as well as my separate channel, Cornish channel, Liam's separate channel himself. Honestly, we all muchly appreciate it and all that. Harvey England will be back on these streams too, as will Harvey Rosebeer. Both Harveys have been missing today, but they will be back soon, guys, so don't you worry. They probably will both be here for the review, but obviously we'll give them a message regarding that. But of course, for the time being, Argyle fans, you have stuck with both Liam and myself for this hour and a half. And again, of course, thank you very much for listening to this stream. And we will see you very soon for the opening day of the season. Football is back, guys. I can't wait.
Just before you go, we can get the fans' thoughts on Saturday as well.
Exactly that as well. Exactly that. But yeah, of course, we're gonna be exactly. But yeah, we can't wait. Football is back on Saturday. I cannot wait. We will all see you on for my video on Saturday and then the review on Sunday. And again, cheers to Macauley for coming on. Up the Janners, up the Argyle, up the Janners, up the Argyle, up the Greens, up the Pilgrims, up the Plymouth. Come on, you boys in green. Take care, guys. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.